Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. DJ Hayden, the corner, in on the tackle. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. It was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. The 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 76 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Bortles going to try and throw on third down. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And that is incomplete here. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Bortles. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And that is incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Bortles. Flush to his right. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And with that incompletion, Charles, I want to revisit our preseason Super Bowl picks.
Must we?
Well, we're getting closer and closer toward the playoffs. So
we have to revisit
who
them?
did you have? You had the Falcons.
I had Atlanta.
But you couldn't predict all those injuries the Falcons had.
Couldn't predict all the injuries, and heading into their open week, they had won 2 in a row. And then beat Washington after the open week. So all is not lost, but still enough guys are out that maybe it's not the best prediction. But I did have Pittsburgh, I believe, on the AFC side, and they are really starting to come on.
Set. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he'll win it over the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. A first trip to the red zone for KC. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Hunt gets it on the draw for Mahomes. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Z, 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 Z.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Now Bortles throwing on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Now Bortles. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And the Jaguars send out their punter. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here comes Kansas City. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I remember
He's going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready. Green 90. Green 90. 22 by 22. Z. They're running it. Z. 22's coming.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Ready. Green 39. Green 39. Z. Left.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognizes he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. The Jaguars getting set to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles flushed out right. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Lucy.
They'll run high. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Carlos Hyde, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Miles Jack able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. So. Z.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Still a lot that can happen, but you think they get points on this drive, even if it's just 3. Should wrap this one up.
And you got to love their starting field position. So if you're the play caller right now, being on the plus side of the 50, you're thinking exactly what you're saying. Get 3, get out of here with at least that. But hey, you might have a chance to put 6 on the board and really take control.
Green 80.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
White 39, Lucy. Green 80.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Lambeau, he missed it. He missed it left. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Green 90. Green 90. Z.
On 1st down, Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Caught. Kelsey, left side. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Calais Campbell on the stop. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Z. So.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90. 36, 36. Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Right. Hold this. Left.
He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Throw.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden.
Brandon, offense.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Get up!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, South! Gun.
On second down, here's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go. And that's caught inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. It's Coleman here. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu from 6 yards away. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Let's go.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On second down, here's Bortles. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
A big run by the big man Fournette. 41 yards. Bortles now on first down. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. Throwing is Bortles. Over the middle, complete. That's Paul. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Now Ryan on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 31 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Hey, 54 Ricky.
On first down, Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with third and just a yard. And Paul has him. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Here we go.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Paul bringing it in. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37th. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Shotgun now for Bortles. Being chased out left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, Charles, we got a second here. Let's do an MVP check-in right now at this point in the season. Is Patrick Mahomes your headliner?
He is for me. Look, second year playing, 1 start as a rookie, and what he's done so far, it's been absolutely spectacular. Magnificent consistency. Hasn't had any real dips. Now, before the season, I was focused in on Todd Gurley, and he continues to power the Rams' attack. He has to be in the conversation. Drew Brees, how many completions does he throw per game? 1 or 2? It's unbelievable with his accuracy. Tom Brady is still Tom Brady and wins big games. Phillip Rivers with a strong second half could get into the conversation, but keep a real eye on the NFC South. Matt Ryan ahead of his MVP pace of 2016. Cam Newton in Carolina, if they end up winning that division, you better take a hard look at him.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just...
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Bortles. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, you know, we've got a pretty big sample size now from the NFL season, Charles. I want to ask you, going back to the draft, who was the biggest steal in 2018?
Well, the biggest steal is Philip Lindsay.
Oh, guy that wasn't even drafted?
Wasn't even drafted, but how about what the Denver personnel department did, identifying him ahead of time, potentially not being drafted and ready to pounce when the call didn't come for him. And what a job he's done for them. Running it, catching it, open field guy, in traffic, he's done it all. I think Saquon Barkley from the Giants has been everything as average.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play. Bortles to Westbrook. And even 50 yards. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brooks Reed in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Ricardo Allen with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. And now out come the Jags. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Bortles. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now come the Falcons. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
20. Ready, go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
25 to 9. Hey, gun. 20.
They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.